Namyo Renge Kyo, Namyo Renge Kyo, Namyo Renge Kyo. From a user to a giver. It's not a title, it's not a badge, and it's not something you apply for. It's a shift in consciousness. It's a deep internal shift. Changing from a user to a giver within Sun Lotus recovery is not bureaucratic. It's not a bureaucratic process. It's a spiritual process. It happens naturally. When you finally find the solid ground beneath your feet, at last, no sand shaking, no shifting sands, and the chaos has settled when the mind has cleared, when you're no longer just surviving, but you're standing tall, proud, because this model of addiction is built on a simple, powerful truth. That your suffering, your pain has a purpose. That your suffering and pain is never wasted. That everything you've been through, that you've gone through, that you went through, can become the fuel for the fire, the fuel for the fire of your enlightenment, to help someone else. This is the first step. You begin as the user to start. I was a user. The users, that's to come. The user is all about yourself, self-absorption, self-obsession. At the start, everything's just about you surviving. You're in lizard mode. The pain, the cravings, the using, the escaping. I used to call it anesthetic, my anesthetic, to escape from me, from my reality, a cycle that was endless, round and round. My mind was trapped within myself. I was trapped in my own life. And my heart was exhausted. It becomes exhausted. My life became smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And my self-obsession became greater and greater and greater. And this is where you have to start to work. You can use the 12 sessions of Sun Lotus Recovery. You can use the program, which is a fusion of Buddhist Dharma, of Buddhist truth, with real practical tools. Something in you will shift, will change. A positive change. You have to face your muddy swamp. You have to own your muddy swamp. At first, you have to stop running. You have to turn and face it. You have to own it. You have to own the pain. You have to own the damage. This is the truth. You have to own the truth. You have to own your own personal muddy swamp. Your shit. No more escaping. No more anesthetic, no more numbing the pain, no more numbing reality. And slowly, I promise you, you will begin to understand. This swamp is not your enemy or your prison. It is the ground, it is the material, it is the fuel from which you will grow. The lotus flower of your Buddhahood and enlightenment blooms from the deepest, muddiest swamp, and the muddier the swamp, the more beautiful the bloom. You have to find that inner strength. How do I find that inner strength? Practice. Then you can begin to practice sincerely, chanting, gongyo, chanting meditation, being aware. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. I can teach you. At first it feels weird, uncertain. We all felt like that to start with. This is unfamiliar. I don't know what this. I'm a Westerner. I don't know what all this Buddhist meditating, chanting business is going on. But you keep going. You persevere. And then what happens? Something changes. Something awakens within, not outside yourself. Inside yourself. You feel a strength you didn't know you had. You feel life force. It's your Buddha nature. You're tapping into, you're drilling down into your Buddha nature. You didn't create it, you revealed it, you manifested it. You're blossoming, you're blooming. If you do the work, day by day, something very profound will happen to you. I promise. You start to stabilize and you grow. You begin to like yourself. You begin to trust yourself. All the chaos fades into history. Your mind becomes clearer. And from your mud, from your swamp, you begin to bloom. Your lotus flower of Buddhahood blooms. You're unshakable. You have an unshakable health. It's a happiness. It's a quiet happiness. It's not a rapture. It's a contentment. It's a slowly, all that need to escape, all that need for anesthetic falls away. It's a natural shift. You start to accept your reality. Something's changing. You're doing this without forcing yourself. Of course, you have to make effort. You have to practice. You have to use your attention. The obsession with your own self, this self-obsession begins to dissolve. It begins to dissolve. You start to connect with the rest of it. In its place, you start to feel compassion. First of all, for yourself. Then you have compassion for others who are suffering with the same disorder that you have. You start to see others clearly. You start to see their pain, their struggle, their suffering, their muddy swamp. Because you recognize it, you know it. You recognize it, you've lived it, You're an expert by experience now. You're starting to become a giver. From a user to a giver. This is the moment. This is the shift. It doesn't come with a big announcement. It's realized. You're not just recovering now. You're ready to give again. You've got enough. You're overflowing. You can give now. This is your misfortune. To become a mission. Now, What felt like a curse becomes purpose, becomes your mission. What once felt like shame, guilt, self-loathing becomes your strength. Your past, your experience is no longer something to hide. It becomes your mission. It's become my mission. Sun Lotus Recovery. It's the power of a shared experience. Because now you can reach others, you can reach people. No one else can do it. You can do it. You can reach people nobody else can. Because you know, and it's not theory, and it's not just words. It's through the truth. Through the truth that you've walked the path. You've climbed the mountain. You know the darkness. You know the way out. You've walked it. You've climbed it. This is in Buddhism called upaya. Skillful means, upaya. You use your life as the guide. You need support though. That's where Sun Lotus comes in. We're an online community, but if you get in touch, you don't have to do it alone. You can become connected. It's a shared path. I want to share this path with you all. I want that connection, through this connection, through our conversation, through talking, through simply being here, being there for somebody else who's still in that pain, in that chaos, in the madness. Let's make one voice. Let's make one conversation. Let's have one hand reaching back, helping. At Sun Lotus Recovery, you become a giver. When you realize something, it's very simple. You realize something simple. You're stable enough to help the next person. Come join us. You're strong. You become strong enough to reach back into the hell, and you're brave enough to reach back into the hell and share your truth, share your lived experience, share your proof. One step at a time is all it takes. One hand extended out to others. Lifting the next person from the muddy swamp, up the mountain, climbing the mountain together. The mountain of enlightenment. From a user to a giver. From suffering to purpose. From the mud to the lotus. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.